Hello, everybody. I don't know. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. So let me know if you get this, okay? Because it was a little bit strange. Just say hello. Press hello if you can see me, okay? Because it was a little bit strange for whatever reason. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Everything working. Okay. So, guys, another day in paradise, huh? Have a good. What a great day, huh? Hmm? Okay, guys. So I was doing other things. Okay, of course. Thanks for I see that you see me. You see me and you hear me. I feel seen. I feel seen. So no, but really. So I was compiling the questions as I was not watching the news or anything as the day progressed. So I spoke a little earlier. I was compiling the questions. There's so many questions already. You see, I added a couple of questions that did not come up today, but they're relevant to I think what's going on. But most of the questions came from you guys. So so I'm gonna get started right away, because it's guys, these questions are crazy. Okay, I know that I could tell that there's so much, there's so much in every question that it could go. There's a lot of information, a lot of information. So the first question alone is did you see, guys, the most sickening thing? Trump was like, "There's no collusion, no collusion," and then there's a call with Putin. Oh, no collusion, no collusion, no. So what could be more obvious, right? Nothing could be more obvious than this. So oh, interesting, huh? So so this is it, okay? So like I was saying, I'm gonna get started, okay? Because like I said, I feel like it's complex. I mean, it's very complex. Okay, so I'm gonna start with protections. Like to ask for protection. Beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head. As I breathe in, I feel my lung with a protective light. As I breathe out, I create a beautiful circle of energy, divine energy and protective energy. I step into the circle, and I feel completely protected. I feel that my aura and my spirit is totally protected with the good, from the good, from, I'm sorry, it's protected with all the good spirits around me. And I invite everyone in the group watching this and everyone who may watch it to also be protected. And I'd like to ask that information I receive comes from only the highest sources that creates the good for all of those involved. Okay. So guys, now I have questions. Let's go to questions. Okay. So the first question. Oh, parece that had the call with Putin. They said no collusion. No, no collusion. It's like he's talking to his boss, as his manager. My manager Putin. So they apparently the apparently meaning propaganda says that they discussed the Mueller arrest, whatever it says. We don't know, right? Because they don't tell the truth. But so I want to know if this was recorded. Is this being recorded? Okay, because we need to know, guys. This guy's betraying the country. How do we know? We need to know what's going on here, but so was this call recorded by our intelligence or the FBI? And what did Trump and Putin discuss? How does Putin see the situation? Situation meaning the aftermath of the Mueller report. And what is Putin's plan? Okay. And what has Trump agreed to do in his behalf? Because guys, let's get real. We know that Putin is the employee of Trump. So I'm sorry, no, the other way. Trump is the employee of Putin. So he has to do it. It's like I'm sure that Putin was like, I like this, I like that, So what was it? So I'm going to close my eyes, okay, and understand what's happening. It's almost like I'm a little bit not scared, but it's like, oh my god, what the hell? So okay, so I'm going. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, like because I can't put my hands. Okay, so what is happening? What is happening here? So I see this call where Putin right away he's like, yeah, as you know, we cannot let this lies go become public. We cannot let this propaganda become public. He's saying, yes, yes, Putin, I agree, Mr. Putin or whatever. He's like, yeah, I agree. I think you're right. He's saying the lies they're telling about Russia is ridiculous. Russia has nothing to do with this, as you know. He's telling him this on the phone. Trump's like, yeah, I know you had nothing to do with this, had nothing to do. No, 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 no. So we cannot let them testify. We cannot let the fact, well, he didn't say the facts. We can't let those people. So sort of like it's the whole fascist thing. It's like we have a narrative, and this is the narrative that this is all the stuff there is lies, and we can't let them. We have to, what is the word? It's like put a lid on it. We have to put a lid on what can come out. So you have to do everything you can to stop this from coming out, okay? To stop the stuff about Russia and the investigation from coming out. Okay, so but the way he was talking, I told you before, guys, they have a really Trump is an asset, okay? So and Putin, as you know, he made his career in the KGB, so he knows how to. His job at the KGB was to handle assets, so he knows how to talk to them. To Trump is an asset, right? So we know he knows like how to kind of manipulate him. So he's like, yeah, we don't want these lies to come out. I don't know. Okay, so he's like, yeah, yeah. And Trump is very like, of course, yeah, like that. Okay, all right, okay, I get it. So who first? The questions I have is anybody from our intelligence recording these conversations? Is there records of this conversation somewhere? Yes, I see the woman from the CIA because the CIA records foreign conversations. Okay, from foreign, at least for foreign leaders. Because they record, they're saying, well, we'll record because it's coming from Russia. Okay, so because Putin called him. Okay, so the NSA, CIA, the FBI. I feel like they have a recording thing, but I don't know if it's official, honestly. I don't know, guys. I feel like the CIA knows this, okay? The CIA, yeah, because it's a foreign thing, okay? So I see that woman, Gina Haskell, her name is. She's like, hmm. She's very, I don't want to say she's cold, but she's very much not, she's not really expressing her, she's very like, "Hmm, hmm." She's not like me. She's like, oh, huh, interesting, interesting. She knows what's going on. Okay, so she knows that they are speaking code, and she knows that there's an understanding of things. Okay, now the other important question, guys. I understand that he's telling Trump that he needs to stop this whole. He needs to stop the hearings. He needs to stop this conversation. The conversation that Russia is not has nothing to do with it. No, Russia's nothing. No, 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 no. Okay, so all right. Okay. So, okay, so the other thing I want to know, guys, and this is important, okay? I'm a little bit scared of it. Because remember that I said the thing, one of the scariest things I think I've seen in the readings is that when I saw Trump being removed, I saw that he is removed because he decides to do something to please Putin, something very outrageous. And I wonder if when I hear these things, they have conversations. That's what I fear. Okay, so that's the question. And that's the last part of this question. Has Putin gave him some sort of order? Has he asked for anything specific? Because up to now, or at least what I understood now about Putin in the conversation, is that he's just saying that he does not like how Russia was portrayed, and he's like, no, it's a lie, no, no, no. But what I want to know is he asking for something specific, just like he asked for the things, I was going to say the thing about NATO, stuff like that. I want to know if there's not just like specific. Is there has he asked for anything specific in terms of policy or okay? So guys, I'll tell you this, okay? And I think this was brought up somehow. Um, in one of the I didn't ask about somebody had mentioned something about Venezuela. It's not a topic that I love getting into too much because it's almost too close for me to home. But this came up in the call with Putin and Trump, okay? I have a sense that Putin asked him to lay low about the Venezuela stuff. Like, oh, well, you know what, Mr. Putin, Trump, I'm gonna be in Venezuela. Just I think it's a bad. I think the way that Putin speaks, he says something like, I think it would be great for the US to stay away from Venezuela because we're taking care of it. I know that it's the US spends too much money or too many resources. Now there's a lot of problems that you want to deal. It's sort of like the way he frames it is exactly it's as if he were a press release, okay? And that's when I see the face of Jenna Haskell again. The reason why she's making that face. Her face like, hmm, hmm, like this is that she knows that Trump has now meddled into, I mean, Trump has meddled into everything related to his policy, but he's actively working against the position of the CIA there, okay, and maybe the US military. Doesn't make sense? So by saying he's going to call people in the military or whoever is involved in these things, okay, and say, "Oh, don't worry, maybe it's not time. Forget it." No, 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 not now. Later, later I'll give you a call. Forget it. There's party tonight. So, so this becomes a problem because there's people like who could die. Okay, I'm serious. Like, right? It's kind of like has a very whimsical approach to foreign policy, which has to do with pleasing which with pleasing with pleasing the whole thing. Okay, so that's that. So okay, so that's the thing about Venezuela. He's wanting the US to kind of be out of Venezuela or to not interfere. What he's asking for is that the US not interfere with, not even interfere with Venezuela. I feel like they have these operations going on right now over there, and he's basically wants to get some sort of oil out of there. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something where there's like, I really believe that he's wants the oil from Venezuela, which is probably, let's get real, what the US wanted as well. Okay, but but what I sense here is that the problem for Trump is that again he's going against, this is something that basically it's Venezuela for the US is an ongoing operation. He's interfering with an ongoing investigation, and I'm sorry, ongoing operation, because Putin's like, hello, don't do it. So he doesn't do it, right? And I feel like he drops in, and I've seen this before with Putin, he drops in code words like, the girls are fine. I'm happy to report. He kind of makes it known, okay? He sort of tells, how do I say this? Putin drops a very veiled threats. He's sort of like, I'm sure, back in the day, the girls were fine. Like something like he alluding to the tapes, okay? That if he doesn't obviously outright say anything, but he says like, well, you'll be terrible if anything happened to the girls. Or something like basically something that Trump understands to be a threat, that if he doesn't do it, he's, so he's going to do something personally to Trump, because Trump does not care about the country or anybody. He only cares about himself and the idea of himself. Now, the other thing that I want to say is that Trump, even though, can you imagine, like if somebody did that to any of us, right? You'd be angry, mad at the person that they're like blackmailing you, whatever, extortion. But in Trump's case, it's not just that he's brainwashed by them. I mean, the Russians are very good at it. Okay, they found a perfect person because he thinks, in his mind, he actually thinks that Putin is right. Because at the end of let's think about it. I think like Putin got under his skin, in the sense that he's saying he can understand that Trump has shame. Because guys, those narcissists, their secret is the shame they feel. Okay, they always want to hide the image of themselves as small and unlovable. So Putin locates it and plays with it. So he can, it's almost like he gets into his head and he's able to manipulate Trump so well. Okay, so he's really, he was born to do this, Putin. Okay, he's very, very good at it. So that's why now we understand that now. Okay, so that's just it. Now the CIA, like I was telling you guys, there's an operation going on right now. okay? And it's very serious because there's people at risk, there's stuff at risk. But he's like, no, just don't, don't meddle. The US doesn't need to do nothing. No, about it. So he's basically okay. Let me just ask this: does he have the power to stop these operations? And if so, how? He doesn't. Guys, you know what is weird is that he doesn't outright say that stop the operation. He just says, I don't know how to explain it. Just like he's basically telling verbatim what Putin said, which is, oh, just don't, maybe you could be there, but just don't do anything. Okay, so it's kind of like being played that way. So okay, so what's going to happen is there going to be a consequence to Trump of the thing he has done? Does until everybody knows, the world knows that he is Putin's bitch. Okay, so then okay, so but is there okay? It's in the military, and I see Dan quotes again, guys. Dan quotes again. Oh yeah, there he goes again. Putin's asset. Okay, so I think that military is itching. I'm sorry, itching to remove. Okay, people are obviously they want to remove him because he's an asset. Okay, they know, guys. I'm sorry, it makes me so angry. Everybody's angry, and it's like remove this guy already. Okay, so how are they going to, okay, are they planning to do something that, how, come on, he's clearly putting the country and all kinds and age, everybody in danger. Okay, so why, okay, do they have plans? Okay, what next? What do we have to wait for? What's next? What are we waiting for? The people are angry, guys. If we are angry, can you imagine the people that are commanding these operations, all these things that are happening? What the hell? Okay. Okay, so what's happening? Tell me more. I need to know more. Okay, so like, just waiting for Joint Chiefs. Okay. So guys, okay, the sense what they're telling me here, because as you know, the one thing that I was telling you now I'm a little bit scared of is like I said before, the whole thing with moving Trump has to do with Trump doing something on behalf of, you know, of Putin. Okay, so I asked, I was like, this is kind of like, one my main concern, and they said something like, Venezuela is not yet the situation that's going to take Trump down, but what's going to happen is that this is instance. There's going to be another instance where Russia is going to attack a U.S. ship. I told you before this story, right? Something about a kind of an attack, and Russia claims, oh, it's not true, it's an accident. Da, da, da. So, and the US military is going to be like, bye, bitch. We're not going to, this isn't wrong. This is a war. Like, it's kind of like Trump wants, because the guys, let's go real. The election was an act of war, whether it's overt or not. It's an attack on the institutions. And, right? Oh, no, nothing happened. Nobody, don't forget about it. You exaggerating. No, no. Oh, don't forget about it. So, so now what it suggests, and this is the thing, guys, this is a little worded, not yet, but there's going to be another instance where Putin is going to take advantage, or he's saying Putin is taking advantage of Trump's instability and his instability within the government. So, he's kind of like pushing because okay, oh, this is the other question. What is Putin's plan in this situation? What is his plan? I saw what he said, what he wants, and now what is it? Because Putin is a very, very, very intelligent person. So he has plans. So I was like, oh, I think ahead, huh? Okay. So what is the plan and how is he going to do? Okay, guys. So what Putin is doing, he's pushing out into the world. Okay, and what's happening, he's thirsty for natural resources because natural resources can be sold quickly for cash, and he needs money very quickly because the treasury in Russia is running, it's very low. So he's saying, okay, so he's pushing, and he feels that he can neutralize the US and Trump. He can do it without, you know what I mean? He feels that he's like, I'm close to getting the thing that I need, and he's pushing it. Basically, think about an abuser. What is an abuser? Is a person who pushes the boundary. So what he's doing, he's pushing, he never stops, right? He keeps going. The attack that he does is not like he throws a bomb, right? He's just like it's almost like he's pushing the boundaries of the world so that he can get more and more. So that's how he does it. Like a person, it's, for example, like I've never been in an abusive relationship, but you read the stories of abusers who are sort of like, oh, a person hits you, says something mean, and then takes your money, and then hits you, and then, I mean, I don't know, it's an escalation of situations. So that's what it suggests, is that he's going to claim, he's going to attack a U.S. ship to see what basically he's seeing, what can I get away with. So he's gonna do this, and then he's gonna, because he's like, oh, no, what about nothing? Oh, it's nothing. What about it? So that's when I think the military stops. Is like, this bitch gotta come out. And I think at the same time this is happening, and I feel like the military may make some stuff public about these conversations they had with Putin, and at the same time there's all the financial stuff, coming out about Trump. So it's a mix of situations that are good. It's almost like a magic mix of disaster moves, okay, that are going to finally, Russians are going to have, there's going to be a barrier that says no, no. And the only, guys, think about how serious this is. The only way the Russians will be stopped is when Trump is taken out of the government, okay? You know what I mean? That's what I get now. What clear, huh? Interesting. No, I don't want to be, this makes more sense to me now, everything coming together, okay? So anyway, so that ends the first question. First question. Many time. This was intense, guys. No, tense, rough. Okay, so that was just the call with Putin and Trump and what's happening. No. Okay, very minor situation, very so small. Forget about it. Okay, okay. So now, guys, I have to move. Like I was saying, I have to move to the next question. I'm moving to number 2 because the questions have different parts. Okay, so Kamala Harris sent a letter to the Inspector General to find out if Barr is investigating Trump's quote enemies. Is he investigating Trump's enemies? Can Barr create bogus investigations into Trump's enemies? What happens if he does? So, for example, guys, they're like, oh, Hillary Clinton, doing what she's doing, whatever. They make up. It's so scary, when they're able to create bullshit. So is he doing that? And are they trying to investigate anybody, right? Retaliation against anybody who's investigating them. Okay. So what's Barr doing? What's going to be the response, and what is Barr doing? Barr is he's having people call these law. I feel like there's some investigations in Barr. He hasn't done anything, but he has had his kind of like his presence known, or he has like, for example, imagine if I work for Barr. I'm Rose Trashy. Yeah, I'm here. I work for Barr. Yeah. I'd like to know, do you have investigation on people's? Just so you know, I know you're doing investigation, huh? Yeah, I know. And I'm watching. I watch. I make names. I have a list. So they're kind of creating this atmosphere of, guys, it's just scary. You know what it is that they do things in a way that is not overt. It's not like, hello, I'm calling you because I work for Bar and I make a list of people who say bad things about President A. They don't do it this way. They do it in a way that seems that the person understands that they are being watched. Okay, so it's almost worse because the person who gets the phone call gets what the point of the call is, but it's not overt that they can be like, oh, this guy is investigating me or something. Okay, so that's that. Now, okay, I understand. So okay, so he's not, no, he's not really investigating the enemies. He's trying to, it's like this bluff. Okay, this is my sense. It's like these bluffs that he creates to help Trump. I think part of it is that he feels, I know it's like hard to believe this guy has any any plans, but it's sort of like, I feel like he wants to steer the ship towards like the very end, whatever that is, but he feels that he has to create to tell Trump, yeah, I'm working on it, don't worry. But he's not really, because he knows that could be trouble for him. So he's kind of managing Trump's madness by saying that he's doing something when he's not exactly doing it. Okay, quite like that. Okay, So because he knows, like I was saying, he knows that he's being investigated as well. He's gonna be, so he can't quite do all of it. Okay. So now I'm gonna move to number 3. Okay, this question has been asked before in a different way, and I remember the answer because the question is, did Barr shut down the Mueller investigation? Was Mueller prepared for this? How? I remember seeing that when he got in, he was like, you have to wrap it up. You have to wrap it up. So he did do it, but I don't think I looked into it like in a lot of detail. Okay, I don't think I was like, so I just like to know a bit more about how he shut the Mueller investigation. And this is the important, I think, like I said, I've addressed this before, but in the light of all the stuff that's coming out, it's important to know. So what is important to know is, what it was Mueller prepared for this, and if so, how? So, was he really able, in other words, was Barr, if he shut the down investigation, was he really able to stop very important investigations, okay? Or stop something important? So what happened when Barr started? He's like, he's having lunch with Mueller inside the place, whatever he has the investigation. He's like, okay, listening. He's like acting like a friend that he was to him before. He's like, oh, you're interested. So okay. So he's like, you know what? We gotta do it. We gotta do it. I'm under pressure. I think I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. Let's do it. Let's get it done. I need to get it done. I need to finish. You need to finish. I really need to send it to them. It's been 2 years. I think this is. I think the way that he told Mueller is different. Like the way that he explained it to Mueller was different from how it came out. So he was sort of saying, "Yeah, Mueller, thank you so much. Feeling a great job. No. He was like, Mueller trusted him at the moment when he was telling him that he had to shut the investigation down. He kind of he's like, no, I'm worried that he may want me to do this and that, when he already knew what he was going to do. So Mueller was like, okay, I have 95% done. I just need to send out. It was like the WikiLeaks thing, I think. And okay, so I've pushed it on to these. I have made these decisions. This is the facts. I have made these decisions, and I have made decision not to indict him. I'm hoping, this is your role. I don't want to He's like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but because and so okay, so then he has already given I've said this is the image I've seen before, the envelopes to the other places, okay, that they continue the investigations. Because he's saying Mueller initially he had this clear mandate, but he found so many crimes as he was looking. So that's what ended up creating these investigations. So he pushed it out. Okay, so was he prepared? Yes, he was prepared. He knew even months before the bar was appointed that the investigation could be shut down at any time. So he made sure that he had, it's interesting. He's saying that he had these envelopes and that he would update the envelopes so that it's almost as if, for example, the envelopes were always ready, had already been sent out to whatever the other offices were, and as he would update the investigation, he would update the envelopes. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much the indictments, it was like the materials of the investigation. So he was aware that the investigation was just a start for many things. So he was prepared from day one. So yes, he was prepared. Okay. So so the answer is number 3. Okay, I'm just sitting here. Okay, so now okay. So now moving on to question 4. Um Lindsey Graham wrote a letter to Mueller today, I guess, regarding the call Mueller made to Barr regarding Barr's letter. How will Mueller respond? So basically, I didn't really read the letter that he sent to. I was just like randomly watching the thing on. It was either Twitter or MSNBC, but it said basically, you guys are probably familiar with this. Apparently, Mueller wrote the letter to Barr after Barr wrote the summaries and basically changed the tone. He messed up. You know what I'm talking about, right? So he wrote these summaries that were totally had nothing to do with what the Mueller report actually found. So then Mueller complained to him by writing as well. And then he called him. And what MSNBC, somebody was saying that he called Barr and Barr put him on a speaker. Well, yeah, but so then he was talking on speaker. So this is what Lindsey Graham wrote to him about this call. So what the hell, what the hell? So how is he going to respond, and what the hell is this about? Okay. Okay. Guys, I feel like there's witnesses, and I think they said it was on a speaker call. There's other people talk. Okay, there's other people talking, and there's also the sense that I do think that they feel like what he said on the call was a little bit different from what he said on the letter. So they're gonna, guys, the Republicans very much, they're very gotcha, bitch. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So so it's like they're gonna pick on him for something very small. They're gonna be like, he's gonna be like, I think in there here, Mr. Mueller, did you say that you were happy with what he said then or not? Like, I don't know. He's just, they're gonna pick on something to try to challenge his thing. So that's why, okay? So this has to do with this call because they feel like the narrative of the letter and the narrative of the call was different. So it's a gotcha kind of thing. Okay. All right. So okay. So then now moving to question number 5, which goes back to connects to number 3. Okay, so will Barr be able to stop any of the ongoing 14 investigations underway? Can Barr interfere with ongoing investigations into Trump and his family? And connected to that, is the Southern District safe from Barr's interference? Okay, so this is kind of a big question, guys. There's 3 parts to it, but that's the that's it. First is about the. Let me just ask first about the 14. And I'm gonna ask how I framed. Okay, so will Barr be able to stop any of the ongoing 14 investigations that were listed in the Mueller report? Okay, I'm getting information, but I want to ask the other question. So, can Barr interfere with ongoing investigations into Trump and his family? No. Okay, and that's the last part. Is the SDNY safe from Barr's interference? Okay. So the first part, guys, is that I see that he's actually calling around. He's doing the same thing that he did to Mueller, except that Mueller, he was a direct report, right? He was the manager of Mueller. You could argue that. But then he's sort of like, hey, we need to wrap it up. I need to see, we need to come to a decision about the indictments, right? Because I feel like on the state level, guys, I still feel like, isn't the SDNY connected to the Department of Justice? Yes. So it's kind of like and by the way, when I asked about SDNY, I saw SDNY of like a fortress, like a glass fortress. Nothing can, they have bulletproof. So nobody could enter. No, he can't. And the other places, guys, I see that they're not answering they're trying to avoid him. They kind of know what's coming or what he wants, and they know that it's illegal what he's doing. It actually is illegal. I feel like what he wants to do is that he wants to affect the outcome. So it's, for example, how do I say this? It's sort of like, I'm just trying to think of an example here. It's sort of like he wants, for example, let's say that I'm investigating murder, investigate murder, and and like you saw that there was a body. I don't know, I found some evidence, DNA evidence or something like that, right? So that's pretty clear that there's something going on, whatever, pretty clear evidence. And the guy goes, oh, but are you sure that you can use DNA? Did you fill out the right form? Hmm? Are you sure he did that? Are you sure you can use that evidence? So he's trying to kind of invalidate. There's like it's sort of like he's trying to, for a few places that he knows, like he's kind of trying to he's trying to interfere, yes, on a few, but he's not successful. This is the thing, because they, especially after his testimony is great, very good. They on to him. They're like, bitch, no. And I do think, guys, that there's judges, or I don't know how DA or however it works, that they're like, we're not gonna follow this. This guy, he's illegal. He's a beast. He's a criminal. I'm not gonna do it. And I'm gonna argue that if he does it, then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna fight him. Okay. So I'm not gonna let this guy interfere. No. And it's like they're saying, who do you think I am? Do I look like Cyrus Vance to you? Do I look like Cyrus Vance? No, I'm not Cyrus Vance. Like, I'm not corrupt. I'm not somebody who's corrupt. Like and the guys, a lot of people are looking back. I see all these people. I see men. I think of legislation, but I feel like people that are a little bit in danger are going back to what the moment when they were young and they decided to go into law, and why. Okay, so they're like, wow, I was gonna, but here I am, and they're challenging me to lose. If I accept this, I'm gonna, I could never live with myself. So some people are willing to face whatever. They don't care because for some reason, guys, I feel like it. You know what I'm getting to? That the age of for whatever reason, a lot of the prosecutors, they studied in law school the Nixon impeachment. So they're like, it sounds exactly like the impeachment of Nixon. So I'm not gonna get involved in this. If I go and get involved in this, I am gonna get, I'm gonna get. I don't want to do it. So they're kind of they're not really, bendable. Okay, they can't do that. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so all right. So this is the thing. He's trying to interfere, but I don't think he ultimately succeeds. And is the SDNY safe? Yes. Yes. And I think the orders, this is the thing, guys, the orders is to try and stop these investigations. Yes, but I honestly don't think he succeeds because it's like, President, I finished the main big one. Now we're going to have smaller ones. It's not going to be important. Don't worry about it. We fight the Supreme Court. Because he's saying, oh my God, he's so sick. He's saying, he's saying, he's like, President, if you are found guilty, we can appeal. We can appeal. Forget about it. Don't worry. So he's basically part of the crime syndicate. Okay. And hello, guys. Sorry, when I'm doing the reading, especially visions, I don't want to interrupt. I don't lose the train of thought, but I said everything I had to say about this question. So hello, and I'm following the order of questions. Okay, so right now I just answered the question number 5. Okay, so I'm moving to question number 6. Okay, we're good today, huh? Very smart, very very fast. Okay, so move, changing subject. Barr mentioned Chris Wray, the director of the FBI, frequently during his testimony. How does Chris Wray see Barr? Can he do anything to prevent Barr from interfering with ongoing FBI investigations into Trump/Russia related matters? Okay, because as you know, Trump appointed Chris Wray, and I had seen Chris Wray as being on the right side of the law, but Barr was talking about him a lot on the, because I was talking to Chris Wray. He agrees. There's a lot of shady people out there looking to president. No, no, no. So he made it understood. He was dropping names, okay, but part of me thinks that Chris Ray is not on his side. But I don't know. But so I want to know what's going on here and what is Chris Ray doing and what's the story here? Okay. All right. Okay. So okay. Okay, guys, so now I'm giving the answer to the question. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So I see that Chris Ray is there. They know each other. I think they've worked on some actually Russia-related cases before. So they know each other. He used to like Barr. They were, I don't know, buddies or whatever. I don't know, but he used to respect Barr. So they're having meetings, okay, and he's like, yeah, yeah, of course, I know that guy. He's kind of playing the part of being on Barr's side because he knows, obviously, I think Barr could potentially fire him if he wants. I'm not sure. I think it's possible he could, but he's playing, okay, but this is the thing, and I have seen this before, almost like a hologram image, but something like the investigations are going on. There's all these investigations going on, and he knows that the FBI is under siege by the Trump administration. He knows. So, guys, this is the thing, and I could be wrong, of course. This is what I see. I see Chris Wray stashing away some of the investigations and telling. I don't want to say that he's lied to Barr, but I think, but he's hiding some of the investigations. Okay, I do think that he's kind of putting in a very, very, very up. How do I call this? very secret kind of situation. Okay, I do think that he's trying to prevent, either he's minimizing what he's doing, he's telling him but eventually he's gonna what he wants to see the stuff that he has. But I do think that some of it he may be willing to sacrifice his career if need be to hide these things. Okay, because he knows, guys, he knows that Trump does not care about the FBI. Obviously, he wants to destroy the FBI because the FBI knows the facts about him. So this is the thing. This is what I think Chris Ray is doing, is like kind of appeasing appeasing Barr, trying to give him some of the things he wants. But at the end of the day, I don't think that he gives everything. There's still these other investigations that are not stopped, and he's saying it's almost like I'm giving him earlier drafts. Okay, so he's giving him, in some cases, the earlier picture of the investigation before they found the crucial information. Like I watch crime shows. So the crime shows, a lot of times they have one suspect at the beginning, and then the investigation changes completely, and they found this, and so it's sort of like he gives he shows them the beginning, but not where they are at right now, because he's like, it's possible that we can even pause these investigations, but we can't stop them. So he does not want him to meddle with witnesses. And I'm getting, guys, too. No, this is what is kind of scary. I think that Trump has means of threatening people who are witnesses, or so if he knows, this is the thing. Trump is like, if I know who's talking against me, I can go after them, their family or whatever. But if I don't know, then that's like Trump needs to know who has the knife from what he sees, the knife against my back. So that's also what he wants to know. And I feel like Chris Ray gives him a very skeletal picture of what is really going on, because he knows, because of all the investigations into election interference, that the country is under siege by Russians. And if he gives Trump, like, I'm sorry, let's get real. I wish there were more. I'm not saying, guys, nobody, until the end of the story, you don't know who is a hero, if there is a hero at all. But if people did something like this, every person did a little bit of it, you could try to prevent this whole thing. Because if you give stuff to, and I'm getting, guys, Barr, if you give stuff to Barr, then Barr gives stuff to Trump directly, or to his son-in-law, whatever, who knows. Okay, so this is bad. Okay, so okay, so this is it. Okay, so by the way, guys, you know what, this is just the time. I know in the past we used to have this, like, more make you feel better. That's not my role right now. I'm doing readings. So it's up to each one of us to continue to deal with this. Okay. So I just want to get through all the questions, because if I stop and say, oh, kind of give pep talks or whatever, then that derails the reading. So the point of this live stream is to focus on the questions, and that's what I'm doing. So I know we all go have ups and downs, but we have to keep going, right? So you can't, at the same time, guys, if you feel negatively, don't watch the news. Go for a walk, watch the movies or anything like that. Okay. So that's that. Okay. All right. So no, and by the way, if you are writing a comment, you are right, there's a response, there's an audience. So it's part of it. So anyway, right. So it's not point is not to have a discussion about it, is I just letting everybody know I'm not gonna look at the comments. I just want to focus on the questions. Okay. All right. So okay. So anyway, so this is it, guys. Okay, so, like, because it's so intense right now, what we're dealing with, for me, the depth of the questions, that I can't have both an input and an output. I have to do the output. Okay, so that's the focus. I realize it's so much better. I'm much faster, much. So I'm not looking at the comments. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now. So this is it, okay? So why haven't we seen new indictments of Trump's family members, for example? Okay, so why haven't we seen? They're leaving it for last, okay? I think they have a lot of other investigations that they want to focus on more, okay? So because it's just very intense, okay? So this is it, okay? Um, so this is why I feel like they have this stuff, but they're, I mean, I don't want to say that they are afraid, but it's part of it, okay? So it's just part of it, like how they, how do I say this? I think the investigations are ongoing because there's so much there, okay? But it's part of it, all right? Um, I don't. And someone asked about the dates for the indictments. I don't know, guys. You know, the dates is not. This is the thing. I think it's they're watching what's happening in Washington. They're watching everything to see the developments related to the Mueller investigations. But I do think that there a lot of these investigations are ongoing. And there was so many people connected, and they're like, oh, it's a Rico situation. So it's not even, it's saying it's 60, 65. It's like the more they dig, the bigger it gets. So it's ongoing, okay? But they're watching the political environment a little bit to make sure that, the last thing they want, they're saying, is to have all these appeals, the endless appeals and all those things. So they want to make sure that it's more and more developed. Okay. Now, okay. The last question. Now, this was question number 7. Now, question number 8. Emmett Flood used to be a respected attorney. Why is he working at the White House still? What will happen to him after Trump leaves? So, yesterday, guys, I had done a question on Emmett Flood, who is the attorney who was responsible for Clinton impeachment, and he's working at the White House, and it's just strange, right? It's just strange to observe all these people working there. So why is he? Because I remember I had looked into him, and I felt like he was not on Trump's side necessarily, but he was protecting. He felt like he was protecting some order, but now I don't even know. So what happened to him, and what's going on with him? Because oh, guys, this is the thing. I remember seeing him being at the time when Trump once is negotiating leaving, but I don't know. So what's going on with? It's weird that it's actually he feels kind of good about it, like about the work that he's doing there, and he feels that he's and this is a really weird what I'm getting here. I almost don't believe it, but he's saying I have attorney client privilege with him, except if he asks me to do something illegal, in which case we lose the attorney client privilege. Oh, wait, but he's not in the that's right, he's the White House lawyer. He's not supposed to, that's right, he's doing the same thing that McGahn was doing, right? So he just somehow he feels that he's protected, or that if Trump is committing crimes, he's recording them. So he's not really that worried. I feel like he's like, I'm on the right side of things and I'm doing what he asks me to do. But at the same time, I am recording. I'm aware and I'm observing everything that's happening. I see, I'm not gonna, he's not like Barr in a weird way. He does not seem to be worried. So this is interesting, okay? Wow. So this is it. Okay, so what happens to him after Trump leaves? Wow. You know what's so weird? I see the moment of Trump leaving, and after Trump leaves, he does this. He's like washes his hands. He's like, "Whew, my work is done now." He's gonna be there until Trump after Trump leaves, and he's gonna go with his hand, bag, whatever, happy. He's keeping the records and everything. So he thinks of himself as a guardian of the law in a way. I don't think he's necessarily a bad person, but he's like, I'm in a criminal environment. I'm not saying he's a good person. It's like all these people, these characters involved in this mess are very flawed people, but he seems to think that he's doing the right thing, or his motives are right, or that he's doing it to preserve history. So this is it, guys. Okay. Wow. This was fast, right? This was a lot of questions. So do you have any? Okay. So I'm done. I'm done. Finished with the questions. Okay. So let me know. I think some of you probably missed some of the bigger questions. Okay. So, but this is it. Okay. I think I answered all of the questions. Anything that yeah, if you have, let's say this, if you were watching the questions, specific questions, and you have a question about the question, some comment or something to say about the question I've addressed, let me know and I can talk about it. Okay. Or go into a little bit more. Okay, so that's it, guys. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, this was intense. Quick, it was very fast. So I kind of like the guys, like this, very intense, because it's I feel like I get, I stick to the point, and I think the more did I look into Cohen, but oh yeah, you asked. I did not add the Indivisible had asked the question about Cohen, but he's going to prison. He's going to prison. He can't testify. He's going to prison on Monday. Okay. So no, I don't see how he's going to testify. He's going to prison, right? So I don't know. Okay, so what's going on with Cohen and this investigation? I think he's for now he's done. I don't know. I don't think there's much more there. Okay, about Oh, that's that. Okay, so I don't know. He's going to. I think on Monday he's going to prison. Okay, so I don't think I don't. I feel like he's done the work he had to do. He's just looking into the situation to see how it develops. I think they need, because guys, this is what happened. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. Okay. Now. Okay. So Cynthia Allen has a question. Does Mueller respond to Lindsay's letter? That's why I think I said okay. I don't think I even asked that question. I talked about it. Does he respond to the okay? Does he respond to the letter? Speak to my attorney. If you'd like to me to speak, I have to do it in public. Okay. So this is it. Okay. So this is it. This is what he's gonna say. He's like, if you want me to talk, it has to be in public. Okay. So yeah, that's what he's saying. He's not gonna write anything in writing. Like, but that day that I wrote the letter, I wrote the other letter. No, he does not. He knows what they're playing, the game they're playing. Okay. So all right. So this is it. Okay. Now Esther has a question here that was not. This was in the news yesterday and today. Okay. Um, did you just hear that Juliana was seeking help from Ukraine to find trash on Biden? Guys, this topic makes me so angry. Because the New York Times, this guy Ken Vogel, I talked about him before. This guy is sickening. He's, it's the whole thing they're trying to do. So I just feel like he's so sick. And I'm sure they're trying to trash it by I'm not yes, it's not that I don't think that Biden is necessarily the best candidate or anything, but it's wrong. Okay, but it's just like, guys, it's just like, forget about these people. It makes me so angry. It makes, because they're trying to make the same thing. Oh, look about the Khayam. He did the whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever it was that they're talking about. It just makes me so angry. Like, it makes me so angry that the people are publishing. You know what I mean? They're publishing this agenda. And I was like, can I tell you what I did? I was like, I wrote this guy. I was like, I'm gonna, because I don't know. I wanna complain to the, but now we can't do anything about it. To the Department of Justice about this guy Ken Vogel from the New York Times. Like, he's a unregistered foreign agent. I'm sorry, what the hell? Or like, huh, it's so wrong. What they're doing? They're helping. So the same thing. It's like the New York Times is again publishing anything to hurt Democrats. And guys, the thing I said before, and I know a lot of you guys had said this, and I kind of agree. It's not the time to look into the election right now. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to look into it, but there's sometimes, and I feel before I said that the Russians are going to go after him. Remember, I just feel like whoever is the front candidate is going to get hurt. You know what I mean? So sometimes I know we're looking at the media and they're like, oh, saying such and such are better, or, and we get mad. But I think there's something that we should let it happen, because the dogs are going to go after them. And the other people that are being kind of undermined now, let's say Kamala Harris, for example, or women like Elizabeth Warren, they become less the target. And so the people who are right in front, like, okay, So so this is it. I feel like they're going out, they're trying to find the bogus thing. So in a way, I actually think that at the end it's going to be a good thing that we had so many candidates, because there's so many great people in the race. The guy Michael Bennett, he was very good too. Did see he's running now. So I'm how I feel like. So anyway, so this is it, guys. So this is, I'm just so angry. If sometimes I wish I was like rich, just so I could sue these people. I'll be like, I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna sue you till the day you die. Forget about it. Like, I know it's not good to be like that, but I'm just like, I just find it so wrong that these people. I'm sorry. It's How could you call yourself a journalist? How could you call yourself a journalist when you're out there pushing these propaganda things pushed by the Russians? I'm just like, you have to go to jail. I'm like, sorry. I'm like, I get so angry. It's so upsetting to me. It really is. So, because I was like, I want to know about Ken. Oh, let me ask this question. What's gonna happen to Ken Vogel, bitch? What's gonna happen to him? Okay, so Ken Vogel, he's guys, he reminds me of Bar. He's like, take that, bitch. Okay, so what? He's like, yeah, very cynical, very cynical. Like, yeah. And then he gets a little letter for him, the letter for him. Little letter, yeah, a letter for him, yeah. I feel like he has, guys. I see he's gonna be fired by New York Times soon. Not soon, but I feel like after the whole thing happens, you know, he's like, the New York Times like, well, but we didn't know that you had correspondence with Manafort. We didn't know that, so we can't. We're gonna have to, he's gonna be scapegoated. I hope. I hope he will. So I don't know. I'm just like I just like I think I'm so angry at these people. Okay, I'm so angry. Anyway, so so this is it. Okay, now. Okay. So other questions here. Okay, about the situation. Okay, so all right. Do you think that Mueller will respond to Moby Klobuchar's letter about financial information in the report? Barr told her she could ask Mueller. He's like, Barr is like, Mueller, please ask Mueller. Okay, so Lady Klobuchar says she's like, well, I think Mueller is saying that the information is under, he doesn't have, it's not I don't own this information. Okay, I don't know that he's like, here's the information. I don't think he has with himself. I don't think he has it. Like, oh, here's from my pocket. Right? He's not, I don't know that he could do this if he's no longer a prosecutor in this thing. So because guys, the right, so I think the investigation materials is property of the Department of Justice. Okay, so because this is the thing, because and this is what Barr told him. This is sickening. Oh my god, guys, what he said. Okay, Mueller can talk about the information. He can refer to the evidence in speaking, but he does not have the evidence with. I mean, guys, I think I think he has copies of everything, and a lot of people have, his team. But what I mean by that is that he can't legally just say, "Here's the information. Here's the information." I don't know that he can. Okay, I think he refers to it, but he's not like he himself as a private citizen can go in front of. Doesn't feel comfortable, but they're saying they have it. Okay, they have it, and I think Barr was kind of was it teasing, not teasing, kind of like taunting. That's why taunting her. Like, go ask him. Why don't you ask him? Knowing that that Mueller can't produce specific things. Okay, but I do see that Mueller does produce first. There's several. Okay, guys, I know this is a lot of people going to have questions about this. I do think it's wise to wait a little bit until we gets closer to the testimony of Mueller. But I feel like the testimony of Mueller has many days and different elements. So the first element is going to be a written letter of what he found. Okay. And then I do see that he makes some sort of, like a PowerPoint presentation, but there's going to be the projection of documents. Okay. I don't know how, but he shows this is that document. He does show some things. Okay. So, so this is it. They're going to try to stop, guys. As you know, they're going to try to stop him and everything. So, so this is it. Okay. So, my God. Okay. No, I think he's going. Sally, did you watch yesterday's video? I talked about him again. Oh no, no, I did. I'm sorry, I didn't ask Nanny Donaldson. Let's ask about her. And guys, by the way, guys, I saw. But I have to say before I even get into the question, Sally. I was watching. I think it was Nicole Wallace. They were talking about her, and I got this flash of her getting threats. So I hope. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do the reading, okay, now. But this is right away. I got this sense. I was like, oh my god, she's under threat. But let's see if is she gonna testify? Is Annie Donaldson going to testify? Yes. I think so. Okay. I think so. I mean, I feel like she's kind of very, what's the word? Very square kind of person. Like very to the, she's an assist. Like she did her job. Okay. So she doesn't feel like she's making any. She's just. I feel like her job. She thinks of it as she did a lot of tasks. So it's not as if she could say that she was like having some sort of like interpretation or you know I just feel like the last thing she wants is to get into trouble. And you know what she's looking at? So interesting. Did you guys, by the way, did you see the case of Chris, what's his name, the New Jersey governor guy, Chris, I forgot, guy, the fat guy, the really fat guy from New Jersey who got uh Chris Christie, that's right. Okay, so anyway, so then Christie, so this woman Annie Donaldson, she's thinking, that the woman went to prison for Christie. Remember this story? That recently, right, the whole Bridgegate situation, and the woman who was his chief of staff went to prison. She's going to prison now. She lost everything because she did what she asked him to do, what he asked her to do. But Chris Christie, who was a former prosecutor, is a smart person, and he's like, he doesn't put anything in writing, right? So he's like, yeah, whatever, like, he's clever. So the whole story. So then she's like, I'm not going to be like her, I'm not going to prison, no. So she does not want to put herself under any sort of legal situation. And I don't know if she comes from money or she has some backers or protectors. She's like, she's just a very low key type person, very Christian. I don't know the Christian, that's kind of like how she approaches things. But I don't think that she wants to protect, okay? I don't think she wants to protect Trump or even McGahn. She just feels like I was just taking notes. She's like, I'm taking notes. I was not like deciding what to erase. She's like, I was taking notes. I don't make decisions. Okay. But she's like, and I do, guys, seriously, either she, I don't know how to explain it. She comes from a family, Mayflower. I don't know, I'm getting this Mayflower. It's a strange thing. But I just feel like there's something where she's upper class or she has a very high level WASPy background and she's like, bitch, I'm the Mayflower people. Uh-huh. Do you think I'm gonna sit around and give my life to this motherfucker, this treasonous creep? You know how sometimes if you're aristocratic, you think that you're better, like not in a way that is overt, but I feel like at the end of the day, she's like, I'm from Greenwich, Connecticut. I'm not going over there and defying this guy from Queens, President from Queens. No, 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 no. So that's my sense, okay, is that I feel like at the end of the day, she feels like I'm better. Like not in a bad, like, sometimes it could be a good thing, but she feels that, for example, Hope Hicks, she came from, her dad was rich. She grew up in Greenwich, Connecticut. So it's not as if she didn't have anything else, like for example, Michael Cohen. Well, Michael Cohen's connected to the whatever, so it's sort of like, she feels that she's like, I'm Episcopalian from whatever, I don't know what, I'm talking about. My grandmother went to grammar school with Jackie Kennedy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think I'm do you think I'm going to wait here for him to throw me in prison? I am not. I'm not. I don't know how she speaks, but she seems to be a very kind of, to be honest, she looks kind of Washington to me, or a kind of sort of plain. Okay. Yeah, does not, it's just like, I'm from Connecticut. I'm not going to do this. Not that every person, you already know what I'm talking about. She's like, I grew up in Darien. Because my family was not showy enough for Greenwich. But you could look. I'm in the what is it? The social register. You can find my family there. Yeah. Can you? Are you on the social register or not? I am. I am. So, but she's not like that. I'm just joking. Her manner is very kind of very serious. Very like how to say actually opposite from the people in the White House. She seems to be kind of like not very Caddyshack. Is there, I don't know how to explain it. She's very guys. Do you know this book? There's a book, a style book called the Preppy Handbook. It's a book for how sort of like the styles of preppy handbook. I don't know if that's true about her, but that's the sense I see. She's like, I played lacrosse. As the president of my not president, I was the captain of my lacrosse team. Yeah, I played lacrosse. Yeah. And I don't, and I feel like her family, everybody's very down, like low key, kind of old school wasp kind of people. So she's like, I'm not like this. She's just very, I get a sense, honestly, that she's kind of plain. I don't know if it's true, but that's the sense I get, kind of like a blonde woman, but kind of plain, kind of like not, not showy, no jewelry, no nothing. Just very kind of like doing the job and being competent and Christian. Okay, and Episcopalian. But it's not, I think the hardcore evangelicals don't like Episcopalian. Is it true? Huh. There's gonna be a rift. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, no. So I don't know, guys. Can you imagine? This is funny. It's funny, interesting. Corfon here. Who knows? Right? It's unexpected. But I think yes. So yeah, the bottom line is yes. I think, and I feel I don't know if her dad is like this is a sense either that she went to a top law school or that her dad was a partner in some law firm. I don't know what the deal is here, but I do feel like she has a back. People have her back. Okay, I got the Mayflower on my back. Mayflower coming. Mhm, yeah. uh, mhm. Jamaica Queens, is that where you're from? I'm from the Mayflower Times. Yeah. So I don't. I'm just saying. So anyway, guys, it's funny. You know how it is. I'm wasp. I'm wasp. Yeah. So anyway, so it's funny. It was nice to have a little funny conversations. So anyway, guys. So this is it. Okay. So this is a wow, a lot of informations. So let me process all of it. Okay. And I don't know if we need to have another reading tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. I don't know. I still need to do a reading about this month or something. Okay. So she's so yeah. Mm. So. mm. So this is it, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go because oh, that's right. In 10 minutes, they're gonna close over here. The closing over here. So they're like, I'm like, oh, I'm on the Mayflower. Who are you? Am I you the Mayflower? Oh. So anyway, guys. So have a good evening. Okay, and see you later. Alligators. See you later. Alligators. See you later. Alligators. See you later. Alligators. Okay. Bye. Okay.